The Indian game begins by controlling the important e4 square with the knight, rather than a pawn. Knight f3 develops the knight toward the center, gains more control over the e5 square, and strengthens the d4 pawn. d5 gains space in the center and controls the e4 and c4 squares. This is a book move, meaning it follows established opening theory, played by top players for years. e6 defends the d5 pawn and allows the dark-squared bishop to develop. Knight c3 develops the knight, attacks the d5 pawn, and controls the e4 square. Textbook play so far. Now black can't stop white from winning a pawn if they make the right moves. Solid. Continuing with standard opening theory. This is a book move, meaning it follows established opening theory, played by top players for years. Textbook play so far. That was a free pawn. This develops the bishop and gives it scope on the long diagonal. Castling kingside tends to be safer than queenside because the king is further from the center. Good job bringing your bishop out early to build a solid position. Out comes the queen and into the battle. Both kings are castled and ready for the middle game. Right on target. The queen joins the board early, building a strong opening for black. This moves the bishop to a more active square, making it gain scope. Very precise. This is not the right idea. This connects the rooks, which helps them work together. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. Takes back. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. This is an equal trade. Recaptures. This wins time by threatening a rook and forcing it to move away. This moves the rook to safety. Black's piece has moved to a square with greater activity and control. There were worse moves, but also something much better. This is the strongest option. This forces the opponent to isolate a pawn. Now white can't stop black from winning material if they make the right moves. Right on target. That pawn was free for the taking. This defends the attacked pawn. This is the way to win a pawn. This offers an equal trade of pieces. This wins a pawn. Takes back. That was a free pawn. This threatens to tactically win a queen. This stops the opponent from being able to tactically win a queen. Recaptures. That's fine. Very precise. This kicks a bishop. This moves the bishop to safety. This activates a piece and simultaneously wins time by attacking a bishop. One of the best moves. A solid choice. This defends a bishop that was under attack and had no defenders. A very strong play. One of the best moves. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. This pins a bishop, which restricts its mobility. This is the strongest option. This is an equal trade. After all captures, this is an equal trade. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. Right on target. This activates a rook by getting it to the 7th rank and also restricts the king. Very precise. A solid choice. This is a fair move. This overlooks an opportunity to use a rook to counter a passed pawn. Pushing a passed pawn. This threatens to tactically win a pawn. This stops the opponent from being able to tactically win a pawn. This activates the king in the endgame by getting it off of the back rank. Only one move worked there, and this wasn't it. There was only one good move there. This overlooks a better way to evade the check from the opposing rook. A very strong play. This steps away from the checking rook. This misses a much better move. This is the strongest option. Right on target. That's fine. This is not the right idea. That's an unfortunate error. Applying pressure to black's pawn chain. The game is still close to equal, but black lost their advantage. This is an equal trade. Takes back. This threatens to win a pawn by overloading a defender. Very precise. This is the only good move. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. This threatens to tactically win a rook. The game was close to equal, but now black has the advantage. This is the strongest option. Right on target. Very precise. This is the strongest option. This threatens to tactically win a pawn. This prevents the opponent from being able to tactically win a pawn. This misses a better way to evade the check from the opposing rook. This missed an opportunity to punish a mistake. This permits the opponent to create a passed pawn. The pawn is now passed because it can no longer be challenged by pawns as it tries to promote. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. Black had an advantage, but now the game is close to equal. One of the best moves. This is the only good move. This steps away from the checking rook. This puts the rook behind the other player's passed pawn. This defends the attacked pawn. The game was close to balanced, but now black has a winning position. This is the only move that works. This evades the check from the rook. Pushing a passed pawn. Now black can't stop white from winning a pawn if they make the right moves. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. Placing a rook behind an opposing passed pawn can inhibit the pawn's ability to promote. Right on target. Now black can't stop white from winning a pawn if they make the right moves. This is the only good move. That pawn was free for the taking. The passed pawn moves towards its goal. This misses an opportunity to use a rook to counter a passed pawn. This steps away from the checking rook. Very precise. This evades the check from the rook. This is the strongest option. This steps away from the checking rook. Placing a rook behind an opposing passed pawn can inhibit the pawn's ability to promote. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. Right on target. This evades the check from the rook. Pushing a passed pawn. That was a free pawn. Placing a rook behind a passed pawn helps keep the pawn protected as it tries to promote. There were worse moves, but also something much better. This is still on the road to checkmate. A solid choice. This continues the checkmate threat. Black finds a nice tactic with just seconds to spare, winning a rook.